I'm particularly interested into technology acceptance and what makes company, triggers company to adopt technologies. And when I moved to France, because I've been moving a lot to several countries, culture has always been a component that I was interested to. And I was looking for a subject that would be connecting technology adoption and culture, and I couldn't find better than wine to deal with the subject. Wine and France are a love relationship that dates back to probably 2,000 years ago. I thought the subject would be easy, but to be honest, it is a symbol of national pride. I mean, wine in France is an emotionally loaded subject. You can't talk about it without passion. They are vineyards and wineries, they do generate income, and we'll have a look. I have some data also. They help creating and maintaining jobs. They are present across an entire territory, probably 90, some expert can correct me here, but approximately 90 departments, and they are established in both rural and urban areas. Some data also, wine and spirits are the third largest export behind aeronautics and cosmetics. So this tells us also how important is this industry to the French economy. I've found a friendly map where you could localize major vineyards and wine regions. We've got the Bordeaux regions, and down is the Languedoc-Roussillon region, and we can see that they are scattered a bit everywhere. And every region is impacted by its own climate and soil. So we can see that wine is not located in one region. And the reason why it's important, because we are trying to look at how those areas are attracting jobs. The data I have here, it's not accurate, it's an estimate. So I forgot to mention that this is part of my research. It is at an infancy stage. We just started, my colleague and I, so I don't have the answers to all the questions, but this is an ongoing research. And if you look at the regions that I showed you earlier, you can see that they do generate income in terms of production. There are some economic drivers. We can see that Bordeaux is a historic city, museum, gastronomy, tourism. Burgundy region has other several drivers. But we can see here, and I insist that these are still estimates. We will reach probably more accurate data when we move on with our research. But we can see that the income from wine production is quite considerable. I'll keep going backward. And if you look at more data here, we'll be interested to know that wine production revenue in 2022 is 11 billions and 2023 is 10. There was that I got from INSEE. And for the employment part, wine industry is creating jobs, direct, indirect, and we will look later at the induced also impact that they have. Tourism, wine tourism is generating over 5 billion. These are tourists who visit vineyards in France. If you look at the economic impact, wine sales generate around 92 billion euros in revenues. Wine tourists, they are estimated at 10 million a year, with expenditure that is around 5 billion euros. In terms of employment, and here we've got wine growers, employees of cooperative, house broker, around 250 full-time employees, full-time. If we add suppliers, meaning fertilizer, agriculture, machinery, glassware, cooperage, we've got 115 additional jobs. Through induced effect, these are approximate figures from a Deloitte study that was published in 2023. In terms of jobs, we've got 440,000 full-time jobs. So we can see here that wine industry is an economic driver in France in terms of job creation. We've got here a list. I've been searching mainly about the direct and indirect jobs that wine industry is creating. And these are I was told that the direct jobs might disappear because we had some interviews, and the fear is that the vineyard manager, the vineyard technician, the vineyard worker, the harvester, winemaker, barn maker, these are all jobs that could disappear with artificial intelligence. Indirect jobs such as wine trader, merchant, consultant, jobs in catering and distribution also probably less so. And we will see, for example, in France, some of the artificial intelligence technology is already in use. We've got, from the interviews that we had, exploratory interviews and the data that we searched, they do use smart irrigation systems, climate control and weather forecasting, blockchain and traceability, robotics, and smart cellar management. They are not widespread, but they are already present in the French wineries. We'll see, for example, I'm just showing the spraying robot that is fully autonomous. I don't know if some experts in vineyards, I don't know if you're using it in France, but this is a Japanese robot that is fully autonomous. It does sorry, what was the word? Fertilizer, yes. The second one is this drone, and this drone is used mainly to detect problems, for example, disease or pests before they spread. We've got the Cosmac Medeo V3. It's a sensor that is placed on the soil, and usually it gives information about the temperature and the climate. While I'm moving, I'm gonna, because I've got 5 minutes left, what I'm interested in is to really know whether there will really be a shift in the types of jobs. This is a question that remains unanswered as so far. Why? Because if you talk to wine growers, they do believe that growing wine is a heritage. It is a skill. It is a tradition. If this is gonna have an impact on job, this means that we're gonna move from the jobs that I showed you earlier to new skills such as data manager, robotic expert, IT professional, AI pruning, harvesting. So these are risks also that are to be, I think the idea here is, as I said at the very beginning, that wine is a source of pride in France. It's a history, it's a heritage. And if all those jobs that I showed you earlier are going to be replaced by a machine, knowing that tourism, wine tourism, is generating about 5 million, why would people come to France? I mean, if everything is going to be generated by machine, this is going to be standardized, and what might make France different from China or the US? So these are questions that were really addressed. I don't know if you're familiar also. Another challenge, I don't know how familiar you are with the French categorization of wines. They have three categorization. These are very, very strict classifications that wine growers need to adhere to in order to guarantee the quality of the wine. So if machines are involved, would this classification still be valid? Because some of them are based on what they call artisanal craftsman work. If these are produced by machine and artificial intelligence, will these classifications will still be valid? They are very important, and they sometimes determine the quality of the wine as well as the price. So these are questions as well that we got from the interviews. The concerns that my colleague, it was my colleague actually who ran those interviews, there are major concerns with regard to AI usage. A lack of human touch was one of them. I mean, as I said earlier, this is a very emotionally loaded subject for French. This is a traditional language. If they lose it, I think they are very skeptical that machines, from the interviews, there are three, we run three, so I don't know how general are those concerns. They believe that AI will make really wine grow in 2 minutes, so I'll try to go fast as I can. So the major concerns are the loss of traditional knowledge, the lack of human touch, because they believe that this tradition was transmitted from generation to generation, and vineyards in France are family heritage, meaning they've been inherited, and this knowledge has been inherited as well. The minor concerns are about the cost, because not all wineries will be able to afford the cost of implementing a new technology. Data privacy, because these are skills that are transmitted from generation to generation. Are you ready they are concerned about how this data will be used, and are they prepared to share? Organic viticulturists have other concerns, of course, because, the compatibility, of course, with the organic principle, its impact on biodiversity, its energy consumption is huge. Can you claim to be organic if you're using artificial intelligence? Because they seem to be incompatible. So this is a challenge as well to overcome. These are some extracts that to me were very meaningful, and one of them is drones. I mean, drones are there to spot disease, but an experienced wine grower believes that a drone can never replace he can spot it before even drones do it. There is a French savoir-faire, and AI can't replace French savoir-faire, and this is also a major issue that we faced. Wine tourism is an adventure, and tourists, they come to France to see humans, not machines. I mean, these were the most impactful extracts that I found really challenging, and we need to address them. And in conclusion, I think what wine represents to France, if AI comes to be used on a large scale, is really the loss of the traditional hands-on techniques and the heritage that they represent. So that's the end.